There is nothing wrong with being a person that has a high level of self-respect and self-confidence. Nothing is wrong with that at all. But we must not be too inflated about our own personal egos. You see, with us, we are the most important person to ourselves. That's why we are pretty much selfish and we operate with a certain level of self-interest. And that is okay. The problem is that other people don't look at you in the same way that you view yourself. So as much as you believe that you are a prize to somebody else, you might be trash. And you need to continuously prove yourself in the market that you want to reside in. Let's give an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say, for an example, you are a person in the dating or relationship market. Now, if you're a woman, when you're young and you're beautiful, obviously you're more of a prize at that particular time. But when you're 45 years old, divorced, with 2 or 3 kids, and you have the same attitude that you want to get the same things that you were getting when you're 25, that may not be an easy pill to swallow, especially for the guys in the dating market who might not value you at that particular time in your life. But that is exactly what we have seen with Tia Mowry. Tia Mowry, as she's gotten older, believes she's more of a prize than ever before. This is the same lady that said she graduated from marriage, she's tired of carrying Cory Hardrict around, and all of those things. And we even actually have some tweets to prove it. You know, tweets like this: emotional maturity, mindfulness, security, spirituality, honesty, commitment, and communication are the real flex. And stop the show. It's always interesting that women always post these particular tweets or posts on social media with a very silly picture attached to it, as if they're really trying to help somebody. And people actually believe this kind of stuff. But then here's another post: what one man won't do, another man will. Of course, this was December 18, 2023. And then once she was divorced and nobody was really checking for her, she posted this: I know love will find me again. And of course, it has not. But wait a minute, let's stop the show again. MediaTek put out a very interesting article about Tia Mowry. She was divorced and she stopped wearing her wedding ring, but now we're seeing photos of her wearing the wedding ring again. Now, could this mean that she's gonna get back with Cory Hardrict? I don't know, but here's what I wanna talk about today. I saw a clip that pretty much talked about women taking off their wedding ring and what does it mean. Let's check out the clip and then we'll kind of come back.
A guy messaged me one time and said that his wife, every argument, she takes the ring off and throws it. What is that about? And how does he handle that?
Oh my God, really?
Yes, he said every time his wife get mad, she takes the ring off and throws it. And I'm like, you gotta fix that. You gotta stop that. That's bad behavior. Now, what is your thought on that? How would you handle that in that situation?
I think that's a red flag. If she's so comfortable with a quick draw, if she's that fast with it, that's a red flag. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like my ring, I gotta fucking twist it off and before I even chuck it. If she's just
because it means something. When I saw that, that shows like it means something. You know, it's not about the ring. It's about what it represents. And if you're taking it off and throwing it, it really that hurt my mind when I read that. So yeah, you're married. How could he handle that with his wife chucking his ring every argument they have? I
mean, if my wife threw her ring at me one time, I'd just be like, okay, good to go. I take my ring off. And I would just, I'm sorry. I would sit on the table and be like, is this the game you want to play?
So whenever a woman removes her wedding ring, what that means is she's done with the whole situation. And because she's done with the whole situation, there's no way she's probably going to come back, and that'll be all. But I also looked at this particular talk show, and a woman said that, hey, I'm divorcing my husband, but I want to know if I should wear my wedding ring still. What should I do? Let's check out the answer that she got.
Do I wear it to avoid questions about the breakup, or do I get rid of it?
This is a nice, easy question. Great question. So if you love your wedding ring, you keep it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, girl. You do not give those diamonds to anybody. You keep it.
Keep it.
You keep it. Now, what you could do, so in Germany, I'm half German, so in Germany what they do is that when you're engaged, you put on this finger. When you get married, you put on this finger. So you only have one ring. So you can kind of do things a little bit differently, but I'd recommend that you go to a jeweler and say, what could we do that's kind of different? Yeah. Because if you do keep it on here, then there's going to be a symbol, and she's going to get questions. Yeah. So what I would say is either just move it onto a different finger or get them to do something else maybe with it creatively so that you keep it.
So we have two possible possible outcomes from Tia Mowry, according to the information that we got. So if she took off her wedding ring before and now she's wearing it again, it could mean that Tia Mowry has been humbled. She's found out that, hey, you know what? I'm not who I was in the dating market. I went out there and tried to get somebody, and now I understand that I had the best absolute person for me. She's even said this on podcasts that, my ex-husband, he really dated me, he courted me, and I thought that I was somebody that was really, worth a whole lot. And hey, these guys out there, they're not trying to compete for me. They're not coming after women like they used to. So it must mean that the best guy that I had was the one that I left. So it's possible that I may need to go back to that individual after understanding that, hey, it's not working out here on the dating market. Or it can also mean this. Well, she really likes her wedding ring. She doesn't want to be back with Cory Hardrict, and she's wearing it because she just likes the wedding ring. Either one of those can be the case. But here's the whole story about this. No matter what, Cory Hardrict should say no. He should never take her back. Now, you're gonna ask me why, and I'm gonna explain. Firstly, she left him, all right? She left him, the woman mocked him, she embarrassed him, and to take that lady back would only indicate one thing. Well, that she had no really alternative to do so. And this clip talks about why women come back to men after a breakup.
Your ex will only come back for two reasons when a breakup happens. The first is fear. Until your ex gets to a point where they are afraid of losing you, they will never come back. This is why all of the things that you say when you're trying to convince them and you're texting them is not going to work. Your ex does not care how you feel. They only care how they feel. And until you walk away and they get the sense that you're never coming back and they fear losing you, they will not come back. The second reason, which is the most important, is pain. The only thing that will bring your ex back to you is when that distance, when you walking away causes them enough pain that they do not care about dating anyone else. They only want to talk to you. This is what your absence can do if you're willing to walk away and never look back. Peace.
Now, it would have been different if he broke up with her and she apologized and she wanted to come back, but no, she left him. The reality is that Tia Mowry to other guys was not worth the squeeze. That's a very big thing, right? And I think if a guy understands that about a lady, it's very problematic. If your wife divorces you and she goes out there in the dating market and she can't find anybody, it's gonna make a man reevaluate his position. And the man's gonna say, wait a minute, was I overpaying for somebody that I didn't need to overpay for? Nobody really wants her in the way that I want her, so something is wrong with me. Maybe I shouldn't even consider the fact that, nobody likes her. And let me just tell you this, right? We always talk about that women want men that other women want. Men also want women that other men want. And if you have a woman that you feel like nobody wants and she's too much of a headache, or she's costing you too much money or too much time or too many issues, you're like, well, it really isn't worth marrying her because nobody wants her. And then you start looking at everything else in your life like, okay, how has my life changed since she's left? Or would it benefit? And when you think about maybe the only thing that she could give you was being around your kids every day, you start to think about her as a person that's a liability instead of a person that adds any value to you. And once a man gets there, it's all over but the shouting. And I honestly believe that if she wants Cory Hardrict back by putting on her wedding ring, she's doing it for all the wrong reasons. And she is not going to be very sincere if she were to come back. She's not going to be the wife that he probably wants her to become. And also, at her age, she probably is not going to change. And he's probably already thought about, look, I don't really need her money. I don't really need her, and I can get different women who want to play a better role in my life, who will cost less and will give me more. And that's the reality of it all. A lot of guys know they're not going to get a whole lot from a lot of ladies out there. It's just how a lot of guys feel. It's something that they know, and it's something that's, a part of a man's intuition now. And that's just the time that we're living in, which is why more guys are looking to stay single than be together. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Dude Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.